Stay tuned for Wrestling with Computers. Go get yourself something to write with and turn on your computer, because we're off to the world of technology and you're going to want to take notes. Welcome to Wrestling with Computers, the show about technology. I'm Wrestling Brewster from Brewster PC Solutions. Today I'm going to talk about Windows' new operating system. You may have noticed an icon in the lower right corner of your Windows 7 or 8 computer that looks a lot like four squares. Big brother Microsoft placed that there during recent updates. It is a link to your free update to Windows 10, the new big operating system. Whether you're thinking of purchasing a new computer or upgrading from Windows 7 or 8, you need to know what you're getting into. As with anything new, especially operating systems, there is hesitation. I'd like to give you some pluses and minuses that come with Windows 10 so you can make an informed decision. First, you need to make sure that your computer can take Windows 10. In order to run Windows 10, you need a PC or tablet with a 1 gigahertz processor or later, 1 gigabytes of RAM for 32-bit machines, 2 gigabytes for 64-bit machines, 16 gigs free hard drive space for a 32-bit machine, or 20 gigs hard drive space for a 64-bit machine. You also need a DirectX 9 or later graphics card with a Windows Display Driver mode, 1.0 driver, and an 800 by 600 display or better. If you need help deciphering this, please call my office. We'd be more than happy to help you. If your system doesn't qualify, then you're going to have to upgrade your system, your hardware, before you upgrade, or you're going to have to go get a new system, or just buy that new system with Windows 10 already installed. The Achilles heel of most new operating systems is the handling of older peripherals like scanners and printers. Microsoft doesn't always make sure that drivers for vintage devices work with the new operating system. It's really up to the hardware vendors to do this. As a result, some of the peripherals won't work with newer operating systems. So if you had old peripherals with a lot of mileage on them, don't upgrade right away. Scour the internet or call our office to find out whether they work with Windows 10, and only upgrade to it when you know that they do. Microsoft has a habit of pushing people to its latest operating systems by ending support for its old operating system, halting security updates, and leaving users potentially open to security threats. If you have Windows 7 or Windows 8, you've got years before that happens. Microsoft will keep using security patches for Windows 7 until January 2020, and Windows 8 until January 2023. Even Windows Vista will get security updates until 2017. So no need to rush. Privacy is a big issue, and while you may reasonably argue that Microsoft needs to keep all kinds of data to make sure that you get the services that you demand, Cortana, your clever new personal assistant, has to be able to look inside your email and calendar, for example. The trade-offs between privacy and features is not a simple black and white decision. Microsoft, to its credit, makes no bones about the information it's collecting in Windows 10. Did you know that in Windows 8, it has an advertising ID that follows you around so that it can find ways to advertise to you with stuff that you already like? Even with all the Windows 10 security settings on off, Windows 10 still sends some data to Microsoft mothership. The simple fact is that Microsoft hasn't told us what data it's collecting. P.S. The EULA says it can do anything it wants with that data that it's collecting. Of course, if you've been using Google Search, Gmail, or Google Drive on a free account, or Chrome, you've already been examined 10 ways to Tuesday. Microsoft is attempting to enter the Google League, and if you decide to take the plunge, you should really know what you're getting into. Another feature that Windows 10 is lacking is it doesn't have any native ability to play DVDs. They want you to use your Xbox and connect it to your PC. Although Microsoft has brought back the desktop, they still have tiles, but it is a smaller screen, those tiles that you used to get when you opened Windows 8. While the new settings interface is much more powerful than before, user account management has been added, for example, it still doesn't completely replace the older control panel. So power users will need to use both. Similarly, the printer interface in the new settings is woefully inadequate. Also, Microsoft is demanding that you install updates. You do not have the option to install later or not to install at all. You're only allowed to change the alerts so you are alerted that a restart is imminent. It's going to be update and restart. There's nothing you can do about it. If you click on the Windows 10 update icon, the installer may not be ready for you yet. You may get a notification that your upgrade isn't ready. In Windows 7 or Windows 8, right-click the Windows update icon in your system tray and choose Check Status of Update. There's a reason. Microsoft got a whole lot of requests to update to Windows 10. Contrary to it, you might expect those requests are not being satisfied first in, first out. Instead, the Windows 10 installer takes a look at your system and, based on the hardware and software it finds, assigns you your request to a bucket of similar update requests. The folks running the massive upgrade effort prioritize your request based on their assessment of how likely your system is to bomb. As more systems get upgraded, more of the kinks will get ironed out, and more likely your system will float to the top of the heap. You need to find out also that you may find out that many programs will not run on Windows 10. Just like the legacy hardware, your old software will have the same difficulty. It may not play well with the new operating system. It's very important that you do some research on your legacy software as well as your hardware to make sure it will run with your new operating system, because it's not going to be easy to backtrack to your old operating system. Windows 10 does undo the damage done by Windows 8, an operating system that was built more for touch devices than for the traditional PCs. In fact, two of the Windows 10's big improvements over Windows 8 are the addition of the Windows 7 style start menu and the ability to work entirely on the desktop and ignore the touch-focused start screen. So if you currently use Windows 7, you're already set. You have a start menu and you work mostly from the desktop. In short, if you're happy with the Windows 7, how it works, you may want to stay with it. Okay, so for the pluses of the big Windows 10 upgrade. From PC Magazine, everybody can finally exhale a sigh of relief. Windows 8 is going away, and it's once again safe to upgrade your PC's versions to Windows 10. It's finally here, and a major thrust of its design is to be more familiar with the user of pre-Windows 8 version of Windows. It's a chance for everyone who missed out on all the performance and feature advances in Windows 8 and 8.1, and it's free. The update is free. An underlying reason to upgrade is to take advantage of the advances that come with newer technology. Simply experiencing the little conveniences and update design that accompany any new operating system can be refreshing. But a major goal for Windows 10 is to be familiar and not require learning new techniques. The new Windows 8, as Windows 8 did. From that standpoint, Windows 10 aims to give the best of both worlds, embracing both familiarity with innovation. Some of the major advances: speed, startup, and more. If you never made the move to Windows 8 or 8.1, you missed out on one of the best things to hit Windows operating systems in forever: fast startup. There are even comparison videos showing that Windows 8.1 actually starts up faster on a MacBook than the OS X, and that's compared to the fast booting operating systems. Compared to Windows 7, the newer Microsoft OSs leave the older ones in the dust. Another speed boost, mostly aimed at gamers, will come from DirectX 12, the new 3D engine that will get some developers closer to the metal for new kind of immersive games. The Start menu. The loud voices in the tech communities have long clamored for the return of the Start menu after its replacement by the Start screen in Windows 8, which is kind of funny since the same group scoffed at the Start menu with its first appearance in Windows 95. Anyways, Microsoft had heeded the cries for its return, but given it a tile-based appearance so as not to lose the live file info and to make the OS still touch-enabled. They also moved their power icon, the sleep and the restart, down near the Start menu. It's not lost where it used to be. Cortana. It's nice to be able to talk to your technology. If you're used to the Xbox One or talked with Siri and her friend Google Now, you know how convenient it is to interact with your technology. Hands-free. Hey, Cortana, play music or take a note, or just for starters. You can get more specific with the reminders that will show up on any device running Cortana. And Cortana isn't just about voice commands. Her notebook keeps track of your interests, popping up into such as your favorite sports scores or local weather, and even traffic conditions for your commute home. If you like that, I, for one, find it a little too Big Brotherish, but if you like it, Cortana is going to do that. Universal apps. If you use Windows 7, you don't have an app store. Windows 10 lets you find software you need for large and small tasks. And you can run apps either windowed or full screened. Windows 10 also comes with a slicker and more powerful productivity and media apps, including new photos, videos, music, maps, people, mail, calendar. The apps work equally well as full-screen modern Windows apps using touch or with a traditional desktop mouse and keyboard. Touch. Just about every screen in your life these days is a touch screen. Your smartphone, your tablet, even your car navigation system. So why not your desktop or laptop PC? I can tell you that while touch isn't my primary way to input into the computer, it is darn convenient at times. Windows 10 is enhanced for touchscreen enabled and ability to responsiveness of your screen. The Action Center. Your smartphone pops up notification for messages, updates, and even breaking news. So why shouldn't your PC? With Windows 10, it does. And finally, a better browser. Formerly known as Spartan, Microsoft Edge brings the OS's default browser into the modern world of browser. That means improved compatibility, and speed, and a few helpful new capabilities like web page markup and reading mode. Just to note here that this is the writing on the wall for Internet Explorer. If you're locked into Internet Explorer, then you want to start looking at alternatives. Security. Windows 10 inherits the secure boot features from Windows 8 and makes it even more secure. That requires any code that runs right when the OS starts to be signed by Microsoft or the hardware maker. Unlike Windows 8, Windows 10's PCs can be set up so that this feature cannot be bypassed. 3 new security features for Windows 10 are Device Guard, Microsoft Passport, and Windows Hello. Then virtual desktops. For years, some of the more sophisticated Mac users have found the ability to switch among several virtual desktops and find it useful. Windows 10 finally brings the capability to Microsoft Desktop operating system. In Windows 10, the feature is incredibly easy to use. You simply click or tab the task switching icon next to the Cortana search box in the taskbar. Okay, so you've decided or been forced to update to Windows 10. There's things you need to do immediately after you install it. By default, Windows 10 is set up to share your internet connection over Wi-Fi. This is a nifty feature if you want it, and dangerous one if you don't. To be on the safe side, you should probably just disable it from the settings. You may also want to toggle off the underneath those settings, connect to suggested open hotspots, and connect to networks shared by my contacts. These are just a few of the settings in the wireless. The Start menu is back, and it's time to begin making it the most of it. Customizing the Start menu is easy. You can remove files, enable and disable live tiles, resize the entire Start menu, and change its appearance. In Advanced Settings section within Settings and Advanced Windows Update options, then the drop-down menu, and you'll be able to do that. This way, your computer will restart regularly whenever updates are installed. You need to make sure that that is enabled. This is just a small part of that whole update thing that I spoke of earlier. In Windows 10, you can adjust notification settings by clicking the notification icon in the System tray. Then the Click All settings followed by System and Notification in action here. You'll be able to pick and choose which apps can display notifications and which ones cannot. Just like your phone, when all those annoying notifications pop up during meetings, you'll also be able to tweak a few additional settings pertaining to notifications. Okay, so now that you know the wonderful world of Windows 10, you are more informed on your choices. Our office is not recommending upgrading to Windows 10 at this time. We did not recommend Windows 8 for the reasons stated above. We like Windows 7, and we'll wait till all the bugs are out of 10 before recommending upgrading. If you have any questions at all about Windows 10 or upgrading, please contact our office at 508-746-6423 or email me at wwb@bpcs.us. Remember, let us take care of your technology so you can keep working. Technology is exciting and always changing. If you need help, call us, and we'd be happy to help you at any time. I'm Wrestling Brewster from Brewster PC Solutions.